So I have 5 days left for my NSEM examination. The funny thing is, this exam is probably smaller than the amount of the overthinking I've done staring at my ceiling at 2 a.m. these past weeks. A week ago, I was shipping a cool feature at work. I was fully locked in, and now I'm on a hiatus from all of that. I'm sitting with textbooks and highlight marker, and the context switch from production code to exam prep never stops feeling weird. Somewhere between preparing for another paper and cleaning out old folders on my laptop, I started thinking about my Btech life as a whole. Not some curated reflection, just life. What it actually felt like living through engineering. So I've been studious my whole life. Not the topper rank 1 gold medal kind, more like the rank 3 kind. Always around the top but never obsessing over it. I got 96.6 in boards, class 10th, and in 12th I got 95.6. And that carried on to college too. I skipped more classes than I'd like to admit, but I always made sure that I learned everything on my own. But I made conscious effort to never let academics become my entire personality. Let me be clear, I genuinely study. I'm not one of those people who dismisses theory and act like college is useless. I give my exams honestly, I try to understand concepts deeply, I give it everything that I can. But if you have gone through the Indian education system, you know that there is a very specific game around exams. You go through previous year questions, you recognize patterns, memorize the type of answers that professors usually expect. You can score pretty well without fully understanding how engineering works in the real world. I'm not saying that judgmentally, it's just true. I've seen people score incredibly well while having almost no practical intuition about how systems, products, architectures, or how software development actually works outside a classroom. I never wanted to be that person. So over time, I built a balance. Most of my semester I spent optimizing for learning, not marks. I sharpened my analytical thinking, actually understanding why something works the way that it does instead of memorizing the answer format. The why behind things, not just the what. Then, right before exams, sure I optimize. Previous year papers, pattern recognition, strategic studying, grades still matter to some extent. Pretending otherwise is just fake intellectualism. But optimization was never going to be my entire definition of engineering. Because somewhere early on, I realized something a lot of engineering students learn the hard way. Theory alone doesn't make you an engineer. So now enter A Bronx Tale. One of the movies that shaped this for me was A Bronx Tale. If you have watched it, you know the central dynamic. A kid grew up with two father figures. His actual father is a hardworking bus driver who believes in discipline, honesty, education, doing the right thing. And other is Sunny, the gangster, who understands the streets, people, risk, survival, how the actual world operates. Obviously, I'm not comparing startups to the mafia because before a LinkedIn recruiter starts panicking, but the duality in that movie hit me hard. Engineering feels exactly like that sometimes. College teaches you one side, and startups teach you the other side. One side gives you operating system, DBMS, computer networks, algorithms, theories that genuinely matter. I mean that sincerely. Fundamentals are very important. People love pretending theory is useless until they hit a real scalability issue and suddenly rediscover why distributed systems exist. Then there's the other side. Deadlines are real. Code breaks in production. Users don't care how elegant your architecture diagram looked in class. You push fixes at midnight and learn more in 2 weeks than you did in an entire semester. And that side changed me. I started working in September 2024. If I count the MVP that I built for a local startup, then technically July 2024. That's almost half my BTech spent balancing academics with actual industry work. That combination taught me more than either side could have alone. Two startups so far, features built end to end, not tutorial projects. Real features with real users, requirements, bugs, iteration, feedback loop, and all the chaos that comes with shipping actual software. There's something humbling about seeing code leave your laptop and becoming part of someone else's workflow. In college, your code gets evaluated, and in companies, your code gets used. That's a very different feeling. One thing that I'm genuinely proud of is that I became financially free in college itself. I mean, financially independent, not free. That's a long stretch ahead. I'm not the most materialistic guy, but there's a different kind of satisfaction in buying things you dreamed of with your own money that you have earned and not asking anyone, just working, earning, getting it there on your own terms. Now, the final crux is that you need both fathers, and that is what A Bronx Tale made me reflect on. The movie never says one father was right or the other was wrong. The kid needed both the perspectives to understand life. He needed to be book smart. He needed to do the right thing, and he needed to understand the streets, and he needed to understand uh, all the things that go on in the, I would say, street smartness. That's important. That's exactly how I see engineering now. Classroom gave me structure and startups gave me intuition. College taught me how systems work. Building in the real world taught me why systems fail. One thing taught me how to think, the other taught me how to adapt. The best mentors I have had weren't just people who knew technology deeply. They knew people deeply, how to ship, communicate, simplify problem, handle pressure, make decision with incomplete information. That kind of learning doesn't fit inside a syllabus. So now the sweet spot. It is easy during engineering to fall into extremes. Some people only chase grades and never build anything outside class. Others only chase hustle culture and ignore fundamentals entirely. The sweet spot is in the middle. You need the discipline of studying things properly even when they feel abstract. You also need the messiness of actually building things in the real world. Because eventually, engineering stops being about exam. It becomes about solving problem for real people under real constraint and real consequences. And looking back at my Btech, I'm grateful that I didn't pick one side. I'm grateful for the nights spent studying subjects that I complained about, and I'm equally grateful for the nights debugging production issues while wondering why one of my missing environment variable had the power to destroy my peace. And both mattered. A Bronx tale wasn't about choosing between two fathers, it was about learning what to take from each of them. And that is exactly what my engineering journey has been too.